Hello my friends! In today's video we're going to talk about some new and exciting books.
Hello!
There's Liz. So at the beginning of the year I did a anticipated releases video, but I knew that there would be more books announced throughout the year. There would be more things I would find that I didn't know about before doing that video that I was interested in, and I told you guys I'd let you know about new books that I'm excited about. So that's what this video is. I don't know what I'm going to call this. Probably just new and exciting. I don't know. I can't think of a catchy title, but we're going to talk about some new books. We're going to talk about some cover reveals. So let's just get into the video. The first order of business is V.E. Schwab. So V.E. Schwab has confirmed, it has been confirmed that we are getting Threads of Power this year, October 3rd. I'm super excited. So if you don't know, V.E. Schwab is the author of the Shades of Magic trilogy, beginning with A Darker Shade of Magic. The second book is A Gathering of Shadows, and the third book is A Conjuring of Light. So I adore this trilogy. Always have. It has been a while since I've read them, and now V.E. Schwab, she announced years ago that she's going to be continuing on in this world. So it is a separate trilogy, but it is a continuation of this trilogy, so you do need to read this first before you jump into that one. So we have a title, we have a date, and we have a cover reveal, and this is what the cover looks like. And honestly, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I'm kind of upset, actually. This doesn't hinder my excitement of the book, obviously. I'm still excited to read the book, but this just goes against everything that I feel I know about V.E. Schwab. She has a very distinct color palette when it comes to all of her books. It's the typical black, white, red, and gold, right? So this is the color scheme of the original trilogy, and now they're going in a completely different direction with Threads of Power. Also, this first book is called The Fragile Threads of Power. But this, to me, just doesn't scream V.E. Schwab. I just don't like it. I don't like it. And now they're doing reprints of the original series in paperback to kind of match the direction of this new series, which is another thing I'm upset about, because I spent my hard-earned money and time collecting the hardcover editions of these, and I kind of was hoping it would be similar, the new series would be similar to these, and that they would all look great together. But this new cover, this is not gonna match with my original series, which I'm kind of bummed about. But that's just my opinion. Tell me what you think in the comments. Do you like this? Do you like this new direction? Because I don't. Still very excited. I do have a question, a proposition. So I really want to reread the Shades of Magic trilogy, and I thought it would be fun to do it all together as a community. I wanted to do a read-along because the new book is coming out in October. I think October 3rd, was that the date? Yeah, October 3rd. We would start in July. So we'd read the first book in July, the second book in August, the third book in September, and then the new book in October. I have never done a read-along. It's kind of always been one of those things that I've wanted to do. I've thought about doing readathons as well, but I am so nervous, especially when it comes to like doing a live show. I've never gone live on YouTube. I've been on lives on YouTube, but I've never done my own. I don't quite know how to, so I'd have to learn, and I'm actually quite terrified of being live. So I want to know that this is something you guys would like to join in on before I actually make solid plans to do this, because it would take a lot for me to get over my fear and to figure out like the technical aspects of it. So, but I am willing to do that if this is something you want. So please, please, please let me know in the comments if you are interested in a Shades of Magic read-along, whether you've read it before and this will be a reread for you to prepare for the new series, or if you've never read it at all. I think this would be a great time to do so with the new series coming out. So please let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. Also, any of my fellow booktubers watching, if this is something you would like to co-host with me, please let me know in the comments as well, or DM me on Instagram. I would greatly welcome your support. Okay, moving on from V.E. Schwab, we have another cover reveal that I am extremely excited about, and that is Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldry. Travis Baldry, of course, wrote Legends and Lattes, which we all loved. One of the most popular cozy fantasies right now, and one of the books that launched me into my cozy fantasy era. This, I believe, is going to be a prequel to Legends and Lattes, and I'm expecting it to be just as cozy and just as lovely as the first one. I cannot wait for this. This comes out actually this year in November, and the cover is beautiful. I absolutely love it. Tell me what you think, but I adore this cover and I cannot wait to have this in my hands. Okay, another cover reveal that I'm super excited for. I don't know if I mentioned this in my anticipated releases video. I don't think I did because I don't think I knew about it at the time, but Unholy Terrors by Lyndall Clipstone is coming out this year in October. Lyndall Clipstone is the author of Lake's Edge, which is one of my absolute favorites. This is a duology. Both books are out, so a great bingeable quick duology series to read. It's this YA gothic Hades and Persephone-esque retelling, and I am so down to read absolutely everything by her. So her new book coming out this year on October 17th is the date that I have here. This is the cover and it's gorgeous. The illustration on here kind of has this like oil painting texture, which I'm in love with. I love the wolves, I love the person on the cover, the moon in the background, and besides the beautiful cover, it sounds amazing. So it says, a blood-stained tale of a girl torn between her vows and her heart, where falling in love may be the deepest sin of all. Everline Blackthorn has devoted her life to the Wardens, a sect of holy warriors who guard against monsters known as the Vespertine. Which is so funny because the setup of this actually reminds me of Vespertine by Margaret Rogerson, another one of my favorite books. So it's just funny that the monsters in here are called Vespertine. But it says, when a series of strange omens occur, Everline disobeys orders to investigate and uncovers a startling truth in the form of Ravel Severin, a rogue Vespertine who reveals the monsters have secrets of their own. That's all I'm gonna read of the synopsis, but it sounds so good, and I just know with Lyndall Clipstone's amazing writing that it's going to be absolutely atmospheric and beautiful, and I cannot wait for it. And again, that comes out in October. I'm so excited. October is going to be such a good month. Next, we just have a bunch of books that I've added to my TBR that sounded interesting that I didn't know about before posting my anticipated releases video. So the first one is One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. This comes out super soon on April 4th of this year. So this is one that, so a lot of Olivia Blake's books are actually now getting traditionally published, all of her self-published titles. So this is one that was originally self-published, but now Tor has picked it up. I'm pretty sure I have the ebook of One for My Enemy, but I haven't read it. I might as well just wait until the traditionally published edition comes out. But it says that this is a thrilling story of rival witch families in New York City. I don't want to know anything else about it. I like going into Olivia Blake books completely blind. You guys know how I felt about the Atlas Six, so I cannot wait to read more from Olivia Blake. Eventually, I want to read absolutely everything by her, and I think this cover is absolutely amazing as well. I cannot wait to pick this one up. Then we have a new book coming out by Kaylin Barron, which again is one that I didn't know about. This actually comes out in June of this year. And I've mentioned recently before, but I think Kaylin Barron is going to be a new favorite author for me. I love her writing. I love what she does. And I'm very excited because this is a completely different direction from what she's written before. This is YA horror, which I'm really excited about. And it seems like it may be a little campy, which I'm all here for. So this is You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaylin Barron. Look at the cover. Look at this gorgeous cover. I adore this. It is a vibe. It absolutely sets the tone, and I cannot wait to pick this up and read it. This one takes place at a camp. So it says, at Camp Mirror Lake, terror is the name of the game, but can you survive the night? This heart-pounding slasher by New York Times bestselling author Kaylin Barron is perfect for fans of Fear Street. And that's kind of the vibes that the cover is giving me, definitely. But we're following our main character, Charity, who has the summer job of playing the final girl at Camp Mirror Lake. Guests pay to be scared in this full contact terror game as Charity and her summer crew recreate scenes from a classic slasher film. But the last weekend of the season, Charity's co-workers begin disappearing, and when one ends up dead, Charity's role as the final girl suddenly becomes all too real. I'm so excited for this. I cannot wait. I will be picking this up immediately. Next we have A Multitude of Dreams by Mara Rutherford. I've never read anything by this author before, but the cover caught my eye. I mean, look at how beautiful that cover is. And then once I found out that it was a Edgar Allan Poe retelling, That's all I needed to hear, honestly. And I believe that this is a retelling of The Mask of the Red Death by Edgar Allan Poe. And apparently it is a Jewish Gothic retelling. I really don't need to say anything else about this book. I am so excited to read this one. This one comes out in September of 2023, and it's probably going to be a great read for the spooky season. So I cannot wait for this. I am so excited. Next, we have a very exciting anthology coming out on September 12th. In These Hollowed Halls, edited by Mary O'Regan and Paul Kane, I believe. This features stories from Olivia Blake, ML Rio, Susie Yang, David Bell, and many more. This is a dark academia short story collection. I know a lot of people feel, especially right now, that like they're over dark academia, that they're sick of seeing it. I am not, and I never will be. At least not for a while. So I'm very excited to have a dark academia anthology. It's got some great authors in it, and I think this is another one that's going to be really great for spooky season. So I will be picking it up when it comes out and giving it a read. I am very excited for it. Next, we have a book that's already out, and this is one that was brought to my attention because of Barnes & Noble. They're really pushing this one hard, and that is Murder Your Employer. I've seen this everywhere now. Like, at first I only saw it at work, and then I saw it on the Barnes & Noble Instagram, and now I'm seeing a lot of people talk about it. But first of all, the title, like, the title is very attention grabbing. Murder Your Employer, The McMaster's Guide to Homicide by Rupert Holmes, who is apparently an Edgar Award winning novelist. But this book just sounds so good. Plus the cover is absolutely stunning and immediately drew me in as well. It says it is a devilish thriller with a killer concept. The McMaster's Conservatory for the Applied Arts, a luxurious clandestine college dedicated to the fine art of murder, where earnest students study how best to delete their most deserving victim. Doesn't that just sound so much fun? Yes, murder sounds quite fun. I'm very excited to give this one a read. I don't know when I'll get to it, but I did place a hold on the audiobook from my library, so hopefully I'll be reading it soon. It just sounds like so much fun, and honestly, I really want to love it because the cover is stunning, and I really want that on my shelves. So let me know if you've read this one already or if you've heard of it. And next we have The Magician's Daughter by H.G. Perry. So H.G. Perry is actually the author of The Unlikely Escape of Uriah Heep, which I read and really enjoyed. It was very atmospheric. It was about a character who could pull characters out of books, which is one of the coolest things ever. So ever since reading that book, I've really been wanting to read more from this author. Haven't gotten around to it yet, but they do have a new book out called The Magician's Daughter, which actually looked really interesting. Set in 1912, for the last 70 years, magic has all but disappeared from the world. Yet magic is all Biddy has ever known. Orphaned in a shipwreck as a baby, Biddy grew up on High Brassel, a legendary island off of the coast of Ireland, hidden by magic and glimpsed by rare travelers who returned with stories of wild black rabbits and a lone magician in a castle. That's all I'm gonna read of the synopsis. I don't want to know too much of this before going into it, but another H.G. Perry book that I'm very excited to give a try. Let me know if you've heard of it. Next, we have a new T. Kingfisher book coming out from Tor. It is a novella, and it's called Thorn Hedge. I think the cover is fine. It's not particularly exciting, but what is exciting is a new book by T. Kingfisher. I have loved the two books that I've read by her, and again, I eventually want to read absolutely everything by T. Kingfisher. This comes out August 15th of this year. It says that Thorn Hedge is the tale of a kind-hearted, toad-shaped heroine, a gentle knight, and a mission gone completely sideways. There's a princess trapped in a tower. This isn't her story. I just love the tone of all of T. Kingfisher's books. Well, I don't know if it's all of them, but of the ones I've read, it's just fun. So I'm very excited for this one, picking it up as soon as it comes out. Next, we have Mr. Magic by Kirsten White. Kirsten White most recently wrote Hyde, which I loved. I know that a lot of people did not like this book. It has quite the low rating. I loved it, and I'm pretty sure I gave it 5 stars, 4 or 5 stars. So of course I'm excited for her new horror. I honestly have no idea what it's about. I just saw that a new horror from Kirsten White was coming out, and I added it to my list. Did I say when it comes out? It comes out August 1st. Former child stars reunite to uncover the tragedy that ended their show and discover the secret of its enigmatic host in this dark supernatural thriller. That's all I need to know. very excited to give this one a read. I really like what this author does just from reading Hyde alone. Maybe I'm in the minority, but still, I'm excited. And then the very last thing we have to talk about is Godkiller, and this is by Hannah Kanner? This actually came out in January, and it's one that I knew about. Like, I had seen that it was coming out and it looked interesting, and of course this cover is absolutely stunning, and so I looked into it, but I didn't put it in my most anticipated list because I wasn't sure about it. However, recently I saw a review from Elliot Brooks, and the way she talked about it in her review got me really excited for this one. This has a very interesting element when it comes to gods in this world. I remember experiencing this in the Greatcoat series, actually, where it was this concept of like humans and the faith and belief in humans creating and giving power to gods. And that's kind of how things work in Godkiller. So that excites me. And then because of things, I believe there was a war, the gods went to war, and then humans kind of turned on gods. And so now we have someone like our main character who is a god killer, but she ends up meeting a god that she can't kill for reasons. Elle compared it to Witcher in kind of the dynamic between Geralt and Ciri. There's kind of a similar dynamic in this book, and that was all I needed to hear. This has shot up to the top of my TBR. I am very excited to give this one a read. I need to pick myself up a copy. It just sounds amazing, and I am really interested in giving it a read. So if you have already read it, let me know in the comments what you thought. Do you think I'll like it? So anyway, that is it for this little video, this little new and exciting. Let me know what you think of this. But that is gonna be it from me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.